We're going to be recording, so if you don't want to be recorded, just turn off your cameras, but we record the meetings for minute purposes and for those who have missed the meeting. At this time, I just want to welcome our board. I know I see Rachel here. Is Carlos here? Jahira and Angela. Angela here? No.
Angela's here.
Angela. Okay. Welcome. At this time, Rachel, do you want to share the minutes or?
Francis, can I interrupt really quick? They're asking me, how do you change your name? There's like 3 little dots in the box and you just click on the 3 little dots and then it would say rename and then you can add your school there. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Okay, Rachel, wait, can you share your minutes, Rachel, or you need to be put as host or co-host? Sorry.
Yeah, if you can make me co-host, I can share the minutes. I have them pulled up.
Done.
Okay. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so these were the minutes from the December meeting. We started rather promptly. We started off with the superintendent's report, enrollment updates as far as kindergarten, GNT, pre-K, kindergarten again. The superintendent talked about how we celebrate our school district. Here are some of the things that were shared out, different pictures and things from some of the local schools. The conversation about chronic absenteeism was continued. It was part of Danielle's listening and learning tours. It's categorized by 2 or more days home sick, although with a reminder not to come to school if sick. Direct correlation between absence and performance affecting K through 3rd, middle school, all the way into high school. And it was something that was discussed with the youth leadership team. She also introduced the newest member of Team Awesome, Jenny, who is with us tonight. She'll be working with Esther as the family support coordinator. Minutes from November were approved. We had presenters, I guess it should be plural, from PTA Link, New York Appleseed. PTA Link is being acquired by New York Appleseed. A good portion of the time was spent reviewing the website and the various, especially the financial pieces. Best practices for PTAs can be found on that website. A reminder about the Chancellor's Town Hall, which was held on Tuesday of last week at my home school, PSIS 499. It was a great event. And then a summary of the DLT meeting, discussed parent engagement goals, including asking the right questions, talked about conducting a parent survey that's going to be translated. And then once that's done, we'll be sharing it at our PTA meetings. So if somebody could to approve the minutes.
I make a motion, Francis, to approve the minutes.
Okay, if someone could second.
I second.
Okay, who can you say your name?
Crystal Sala, I second.
Thank you, Crystal. Okay.
Thank you,
so the
Rachel.
minutes-
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Stop sharing. Okay, back to you.
Okay, so welcome everyone for coming. And I'm going to, at this time, pass over the floor to our superintendent, Danielle Domingo.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Francis. Happy New Year to everyone. Today, I said this morning, but today we were also having a conversation in the office about when you stop saying Happy New Year. So I have decided the end of January. Other people say January 3rd. I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna keep saying Happy New Year.
That was me, January 3rd, it's over.
No,
It's over.
no. So, so I think everyone should decide for themselves when it's going to be, but you'll hear it up to me till February. So Happy New Year, everyone. Good to see you and welcome to 2023. I wanted to echo what Rachel was saying, that our chancellor held the town hall at PSMS 499. And I really want to give a big thank you to the PSIS 499 PTA. They did a beautiful job and created a warm and welcoming environment and working with the administration and teachers. But they just, they had coffee and snacks and were all out as the chancellor came welcoming him to their school. And so I want to thank you guys for your leadership and for really being there for the entire district in making District 25 shine in the way that it should be. So thank you, Rachel and team, for that. I also wanted to just have a few brief announcements because my updates, I realized as we were reading the minutes that many of my updates were from right before the vacation, but to remind parents that kindergarten application is open until January 20th, 2023. You can apply for G&T programs on the same application. So if your child was born in 2018 and lives in New York City, they're able to attend kindergarten in fall of 2023. And there will be elementary admissions info sessions that are going to be held by Central Enrollment. So all New York City families with children born in 2018, 19, and 20 are invited to join a Central virtual information session covering 3K, pre-K, kindergarten, and gifted and talented admissions. After the presentation, there will be time for Q&A. During each online event, they'll walk you through each of the elementary admissions processes and cover how to learn about schools' programs and their priorities using the online schools directory at My Schools Events. The dates of the events are as followed, and I'll also put them in the chat following my presentation. January 12th, 2023 from 6 to 7 p.m. Thursday, January 26th from 6 to 7 p.m. Wednesday, February 1st from 2 to 3, and Wednesday, February 15th from 6 to 7 p.m. You can register online following the DOE account and logging in through enrollment. Okay, I want to give a big shout out to all of our students from across the district. Many of our students traveled to Manhattan today as part of our Civics for All Project Soapbox. I also want to thank Melinda Willens, who is our district support staff in helping all of our schools to implement Civics for All. Many of them had speeches about local and global topics. Melinda, I didn't know if you wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that you saw today at Project Soapbox and work with me to celebrate our students who did such an amazing job today. So welcome, Melinda.
Hi everyone. Today was exhausting, but absolutely amazing. We had 29 students from 21 schools who wrote speeches. They've been spending months researching their topics of importance to them. And today it was the culminate. They had individual showcases at their own schools. And these were the students that were chosen by their peers to appear today at the citywide event. There were 11 breakout rooms and every student had an opportunity to share their speech with other students from across the city in their own grade band. And it was an absolutely phenomenal day. We're so proud of them. And the experience, it's an experience that they will never forget. And we have one student from PS 130, Evan Wu, who was singled out by the director of the Mikvah Challenge. That's the organization that runs Project Soapbox. And she is going to be reaching out to him to help him develop his speech further so that others can hear it. And we're very proud of him.
Wow. And thank you, Melinda, because I know this is not an easy task to make sure that all of our schools and students are supported, but we were really proud today. When we got back, I saw so many pictures that were taken with the students and the chancellor. So thank you very much for your hard work.
It is my
supporting our
pleasure.
Students. The final piece that I wanted to be talking about tonight before I very briefly introduce Dr. D'Antona is that we've been spending a lot of time as our district leadership team talking about not just parent involvement, but parent empowerment, supporting parents in becoming knowledgeable, strong decision makers at the school level. So beginning in February, and Jenny from our district will be reaching out to parent coordinators, but I also wanted to ask presidents of PTAs. I am going to be hosting multiple parent chats on different topics from February to June. And from information that I receive and in our conversation with parent leaders, we are going to formalize a parent council that will be part of our district monthly meetings and will be working to support me and Dr. D'Antona in making decisions for our district and in supporting all of the schools across our district. So I'm really excited about that. Once we get the names of parents who are willing to be in parent chats, we will be reaching out to you and asking you for topics, common topics that you want to talk about. You know, the things that I talk about all the time, state exams coming up, chronic absenteeism and working to look really closely at that at the school level, working around building instructional practices and student engagement and ownership of their learning. But I do really want to hear from parents and guardians around the things that they want to see happening and the decisions that they want to be making across the district. So stay tuned for that. We are also coming up to our mid-year assessments. As many of you know, we are using iReady assessments. So in the next couple of weeks, all of our students will be taking them. We will be working really hard to make sure we're organizing that data and working with our schools. So not only did we start off strong, but we're going to be finishing strong and making sure that we're pushing our students to that next level to prepare them to be on grade level and meet on grade level standards. So one of the things that after the mid-year assessments come out that we do ask all of our SLTs to do is go over that information together, align it to your goals, make sure that everybody's on track, or if there are things that you have to change in terms of your overall goals and action plans, that those things are in place. So this morning at our DLT, we went over what we are going to be using as a district in terms of alignment to our goals and the assessments that we're using. And I just wanted Dr. D'Antona to show you that process that we'll be doing at the district level, so then you can ensure that that's happening as the parent voice on your SLTs as soon as your schools are compiling the mid-year data that's necessary in order for you to make these decisions. So Dr. D'Antona, thank you for being here tonight.
Of course. Hi, everyone. Good to see all of you. I'm just going to get my screen situated here and we'll just share a couple of slides with you. Superintendent Domingo kind of led off the conversation around a few of the things that we are going to be doing. The mid-year checks have actually begun. The window for the assessment, for the mid-year assessments has started on January 3rd. That will stretch through the rest of this month and the beginning of February. And in that time, it's going to be a major part of our benchmarking as a district. And also in many cases, likely the benchmarking tools that your schools are going to be using to see whether or not they are meeting the targets that they set at the beginning of the year. So for all of you as presidents of the President's Council and members of the SLT, one of the things that we are certainly encouraging you guys to really look at and think about is, you know, how are your schools currently setting up to do that benchmarking? so that you get a clear picture of student progress over time. And for us as a district, these are some of the things that we'll be doing. So our first priority as a district, we had to set 5 priorities in schools. That will vary. Some schools have more goals than others. And that's all based on the needs that each of the schools has presented before them. But for us, priority 1 is about making sure that all children learn to read well. In District 25, in terms of this support, we're really focused on K-2 improvements in reading. And for that, we're going to be using the Acadience assessment system. So all children in grades K-2 will be administered this assessment. When we get to February, I'm hoping that all of our kids are assessed so that by the next time that President's Council comes around, provided that that you guys are okay with it, I'll be happy to share what those outcomes were. So you have an idea of what that looks like across, broken down by grade, subgroup, and skill level at this point of the school year. In terms of our second priority, the goal that we set was around chronic absenteeism. So what we will be using is from the beginning of the year throughout the first few months of the school year, we're able to track what that data looks like in alignment with what our goals were set to be. This is an example of what that is for us. So as of November and then as of January, when we get to February, we'll make another deep dive into where it is that we are. When it comes to chronic absenteeism, December was a really rough month for attendance just in District 25, but we are still continuing to work with our schools in order to support improvements in this area. And many of our schools have identified chronic absenteeism as a goal. So you should be looking for and asking about what are the current rates, where are we, what are we currently doing in our building to support families and students in this work. This is what we're doing, and schools should be doing a similar type of thing as well. Priority 3, this is about making sure that all of our kids have high quality educational experience, and we've organized this in the space of building around our focus on reading this school year. For this particular goal, the outcomes were the intended outcomes was that we would improve by a minimum of 5%, across grade levels, with specific subgroups in mind as well. In grades 3 to 8, the information that we will be using here is the iReady reading assessment, and much like Acadience, we'll be breaking this down by grade, subgroup, and skill, so that we can see what the progress has been to this point of the school year. Inside of our goal, we also mention and talk about MTSS. So we'll be breaking the data down by that as well. We'll be identifying the children that have been receiving MTSS supports to see whether or not the structures that our schools have been putting in place are in fact having an impact on student learning. So one of the questions that was raised earlier on in DLT, will that also show the differences between our special education students, our L's, and so on? And the answer to that is yes. We will be breaking down the information for all of our schools and for all of our community members, so you can see what progress we are making, so we are as transparent as possible with the data that we have accessible to us. Our fourth goal is around college and career readiness. So we have focused our attention on our regents, Algebra 1 regents. This year, we currently have just under 1,500 children that are slated to take the regents exam. But what we've noticed with the iReady assessment is that it's not an apples to apples with what the children are learning in Algebra 1. So we're going to be making a little bit of a shift in the January-February assessment window, so that all children that are being that are currently participating in the Algebra 1 coursework, that we administer the Algebra 1 MAP growth assessment, because it's more directly aligned with what the kids are learning currently. And we'll be using that information to support our professional learning moving forward, which we have already designed and organized for when that assessment window comes and goes. So that's what we'll be looking at for the mid-year for this particular goal. And one of the other things that we added, and we do want to share with you too, that's kind of an action plan item around college and career readiness, is around building in opportunities. So this morning we invited Donovan. He's a vendor from 21st Century Education. And this is just something that he shared with us that was interesting. And sometimes when you share inside of Google, the bar winds up blocking your screen. So I'm sorry, just give me 1 second. Okay. So what it's given us an opportunity to think about are some STEM related courses that we can start offering students in our schools. And the thought was that we would begin offering this in a pilot way to create opportunities for our kids to be exposed to a variety of different online types of courses that is led by an instructor. You'll notice here that there are several different examples of pretty interesting opportunities for our kids to engage in the STEM world. The video that was shared today was pretty explicit around how many of the jobs that are currently out there are being taken over by automated means, whether it's through a robot or some other type of element. It actually showed a 3D a house being built with a 3D printer. So the jobs of the future are definitely related to computer science based types of environments where kids need to learn how to problem solve and think critically around the space that is becoming much more digital every day. One of the things that was brought up inside of this too from Francis was that yes, we need to build in some of this STEM based background. We can't lose sight of the fact that we are human beings, and we need to continue to keep that in mind, which I totally agree. But this is an area, just in terms of, would love to hear your feedback. I will put in the chat the link to these courses that this particular organization is making available, to get your feedback of what you think about these examples that we would love to provide opportunities for our kids to engage in at the district level. So this is also, it's an action item. It's not necessarily connected to the math goal, but it's math related because it's STEM based work. And again, I'll put that in the chat, and as you have an opportunity, we'd love to hear back from you guys on that.
Yep. Thank you so much.
And
you keep going. You got one
last
more?
one, Danielle,
Okay.
was around the parent involvement goal. You guys helped formulate this particular survey, which is highlighted here. I did send it for translation. I took the feedback that you guys shared. The survey is in general is ready. We're just waiting to get it all completely translated, and then we will be sending it out to help support our next steps. So that kind of brings me to a close of where we are.
So thank you, Dr. D'Antona. One of the things that I think is really important that we wanted to model for you today is that if we are looking to, as a district or as a school, to invest in something that is aligned to what we see being a need in the district, such as the program that we just showed you, it really should be something that is discussed at the SLT level, because it is an investment in a goal, and it is aligned to the budget. So we are asking for feedback. One of the things that Dr. D'Antona and I have really been focusing on and pushing is this alignment to STEM. So what this is, they are online programs that come with trainings for teachers to support students in managing online programs in different STEM related topics and categories, right? So they were talking about drone photography, as Dr. D'Antona was saying, just about, the ways that college and careers are going to be evolved in the future to include STEM. So we are going to continue to meet with Donovan. Our principals have already interfaced with Donovan to see what certain schools would need and what this can look like across our schools in terms of courses that could be available to students that would target these college and career STEM skills for the future. So I did see, Crystal, I saw that you asked that question, Crystal. So I hope I answered that just around where we are headed and what our thinking is. Okay, anyone else? Okay. So Francis, thank you. I see Joe DiBenedetto was here. I don't know if you knew he came on. He came on
Yeah,
while I was speaking.
he's been here before Michael started his,
Okay.
I was gonna put
All
him
right.
next. that-
All right. Thank you
Sorry,
guys so
Joe.
much. Yeah.
Sorry, Joe. But,
It's quite all right. Don't worry.
thank you, Michael. Thank you, Danielle. I invited Joe tonight to come because he's been on the CEC for many years, and I know now they have, I think all the seats are available. So he's here to just let you know about the position and what it entails and how to go about applying if you're interested. So Joe, you're on.
Thank you, Francis. So yes, I'm proud to announce that today Chancellor Banks announced the start of the biennial Community Education Council election. What that means is Community Education Council members are elected for 2-year terms, and we are going to end our term as of June. If you're interested, we're taking on new candidates. You would have to go on to schools.nyc.gov/elections 2023. You can speak to either Francis or Esther or the district office about submitting your application, and applications will be entertained through February 13th. And then we'll have candidate forums on your council between February 27th and April 20th. And then voting will take place between April 21st and May 9th, with results being announced by July 1st. For those of you who don't know, the Community Education Council is made up of 9 members. And for the very first time, they're now announcing that they're going to take a District 75 representative in every council. So there'll be 10 elected members who are parents of students in grades pre-K through 8 in our district, and 2 borough president appointees. The CECs work closely with the district superintendents. They approve school zoning lines. We hold hearings on capital plan and provide input on instructional and policy issues. We meet the first Wednesday of every month, typically, except for this month, because we had a town hall with our school chancellor, David Banks, last week. And we meet in the evening at the district office. It's a wonderful opportunity for parents to get involved at the district level. So I know many of you are involved at your school level, and we really do appreciate, and I've seen through my experience, bless you, that it does have a positive impact. I would encourage you to get involved. We do have one position that is currently open because one of our members had to unfortunately resign. So if you're interested and want to try it between now and June, you can submit your application and the council members will elect a temporary CEC members to see what it's about. And that's basically it. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to the district office. You can always reach out to me. We also evaluate our superintendent, which is important for the chancellor's office. And we take an active part in the district leadership team. So I encourage you to get involved. Wonderful experience.
Can I add some information to that?
Sure, Esther, thank you.
At this time, we would like to ask all of you parent leaders to turnkey this information to your PAPTAs and encourage all your parents to sign up for the NYC Schools account. Every parent must sign up for the NYC Schools account because that is how the voting is done. Once the candidates fill out the applications and they're selected, they will go to the different districts. Well, for District 25, they will come to the President's Council meeting and introduce themselves so that everybody could get to know them. Then after that, the parents have a window of a week to vote for their selected candidates, and everybody gets to vote. Then the way they get to vote is by having the NYC Schools account. It is very important that all parents in your school are signed up for the NYC Schools account. So if you can stress, push, encourage your school to sign up for NYC Schools account, we would really appreciate it. And just wanted to throw this out there. In the past 5-6 years of elections, we have always come out number one, and we're going to continue that streak. So I encourage all, we need everybody's help to not only to vote and to sign up for NYC Schools account, but to also apply and to submit your application to run for CECC. Thank you very much.
And Joe, how long you been?
Thank you, Esther.
Joe, how
So
long?
I've been on the CEC for over 10 years. My kids, you know, I started when my kids were in kindergarten. My oldest daughter is now a junior in high school, and my youngest daughter just graduated middle school. So she's in high school now, so I cannot run for re-election. There are a lot of open positions because there are a lot of members that are not coming back next year. So I encourage you to get involved. And like I say, if you really want to try it, you can submit an application now. The council can vote you on, and you can try it, you know, for the remainder of our term, which is, you know, now through the end of June.
Well, if you've been on it for 10 years, thank you for your service. And,
Oh, thank you.
it shows that it must be a rewarding position. So
So
definitely.
it's at the bigger level because you're dealing not with just your child and the school, you're dealing with the district. And, you know, I've worked many times with our superintendent and school construction, and we've been advocating for more school space. We have a lot of schools that are expanding, and I think that's a wonderful thing. So we really started getting in the wheels in motion, and I hate to see it just, you know, fall apart because we really do have an impact, and the chancellor and the DOE is really pushing for parent empowerment. So I encourage you to get involved. It is a rewarding experience.
Can I
Thank-
add something else? There's a special meeting tomorrow that CEC is holding. If you're somewhat interested to apply, come to the meeting and you would see what it's all about and what is it that the CEC members do for the district. And definitely tomorrow's meeting is on the website where you logged in for tonight's meeting. I encourage you to attend so that you could see what the CEC does and that you could apply. As your PAPTA presidents, you could go also apply for your CEC District 25. Thank you.
And
Thank you, Esther.
Joe.
And tomorrow, no problem. But tomorrow's meeting is very specific. It's regarding capital improvements in our district. So the CEC gives recommendations to School Construction Authority regarding capital improvements of the buildings in our district. We give 5 recommendations, and we hope that the School Construction Authority will hear them and really improve the buildings in our district. Thank you.
Thank you. And does anybody have any questions for Mr. Di Benedetto? Anyone? About the process, about meetings? Well, if you do, you can just send them to me and I will forward it. Thank you, Joe, for coming.
Thank you for having me,
I know you're
Francis, and
busy.
congratulations to you as well. Job well
Thank you,
done.
and thank you for coming. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Bye-bye.
Okay, at this time, do we have any other speakers, Esther, or no? Okay, so I'm gonna open up the floor for any questions or comments or anything, issues that your schools have been going through. Esther and I work very hard to support all our schools, and we want to make sure that you feel supported, and we want to make sure that we answer your questions or kind of guide you. Last month, we had Rachel from PTA Link, and she was able to answer a lot of good questions for us. So does anyone have any issues or any fundraisers, successful fundraisers that they would like to share? I'll open up the floor for you guys to share that with us.
Francis, just a reminder to everybody that your financial report of January 31st is coming up. Make sure that a copy is given to your principal of your financials.
Anyone?
And Esther, we send that to the district office as well, no? Or just,
You could send it to my, yeah, you could send it to me and I could go ahead and file it.
So I just want to share, we're going to start this new fundraiser, and I'm sure it's going to be very nice. It's a kindness fundraiser. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus, I mean, we should all be kind every day, but we're gonna have the students focus on kindness like for a whole week of acts of kindness, and just it's important to be kind. And then we're going to end it with a kindness fundraiser, which means that the children get a chance to buy a little item. It's like a $2 item, and it's either a friendship bracelet or a bookmark that talks about acts of kindness and how to be kind. And then there's a little gummy bear pack that has a sticker on it that says, "You've been very kind to me." And it's cute ideas. And there's a place in the back that the student can put to and from, and write, "Thank you for being kind when," and then they fill in the spot. So I'll give you an example. My daughter said that there's a student that never is really nice to anyone, she says. But one day when she was upset, he came over to her and he said, "Are you okay?" And that really meant a lot to her. And so I felt like, you know what, if that child receives that little gift that says, "Thank you for being kind when I was crying and you asked me if I was okay," that child will realize that that little moment, that little thing that he did made a big impact on someone. So I know we're gonna raise some money because although it's a lot of work because you have to do to and the from, but I just thought it would be nice for you guys to consider to do a kindness fundraiser like that. It's our first time that we're gonna do it, so I'll keep you posted on it, but I think it's gonna be a success. So I just wanted to share that with you. Danielle, you gonna say something?
No, I just came back. I had to go. Sorry.
So, anyone else? Everyone's doing a fabulous job with their PTAs. Esther and I haven't heard much. So we thank you for your leadership and supporting your schools. I know it's not an easy job. I've been doing it for over 10 years and I know, but it is rewarding when your child sees you in the school, right? And they see that you're part of the school. And for many years, my child used to tell everyone that I was the president of the whole school. And I was never the president of the whole school, but that's how they felt. So I just, I went along with it. That's all I did. I don't have anything to present or anything. So I'm going to say, Danielle, do you have any last things to mention? And Michael, anything?
Now, Dr. D'Antona got some new glasses.
So Dr. D'Antona got glasses.
got
Yes,
some
yes, I
glasses
did. Way to point that out.
No,
Mr.
no.
Mendel.
I was gonna say something,
No.
but I wasn't sure.
Yes,
No.
I'm giving them a test run. You guys are the first ones to get the viewing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, so you'll be hearing from Esther and Jenny in the next week or so, just around asking if you can, include being part of the district-wide parent chats on your agenda. So we would appreciate that. We're really looking forward to hearing from families. And no, that's about it. Just
And I encourage you to really look into the CEC and just anything that you can get involved in. This is a time that our students are going to school, right? We are the parents in the front line. And so we can make the changes that we need for all of our children when we attend these meetings, when we find out the information. And I have to say, the more involved you get, the more change you can make for your child and all the students. So I've learned so much coming to these meetings, and I'm sitting now at President's Council. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without the support of all of you. And so I really think it's rewarding, and, knowledge is power. So that's what I'm going to leave you with. So at this time, it's 7:14. Esther, do you have any last notice?
Yeah, I just want to say, if there's any parent leaders here that are remotely interested in applying for CEC, and you have any questions, do not hesitate to email, call me, and I will answer all your questions in regards to CEC.
Yeah, and there's a vacant seat now. I definitely, if you're interested, just to see how it is, try it. Because I think now it's the board that actually elects them, right? And then, and after that process, you would have to be elected by the community. And we will be holding the elections. Well, we will be holding the forums here at President's Council.
Our forum is in April, right?
They said it before April, I think 24th or 27th.
So
we
our
have to come
April
up with a
present,
date. We have to come up with a date.
I think you did pick, I think the April meeting, we're gonna double check, but I think the April President's Council meeting will be the forum for CEC. So
Okay.
you will be coming to meet all the candidates that are running for CEC to sit in District 25. Now, if you have children in other districts, they're also gonna have a forum, and you're encouraged to attend those forums also, so that you could get to know the people that are running, and then you could go ahead and select who you want to vote for.
Is that going to be part of our President's Council meeting on the 17th, or it'll be a separate meeting?
No, it's part of our meeting. It's part of the meeting.
Okay.
Like, that's all we will do, Rachel, is that forum,
Yeah.
because
Got
there's so many people that probably are interested in running, and we have to make sure that we give them all enough time to speak.
And it will be remote?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's 7:16. I'm gonna have a last call for questions. Any questions or comments? Crystal, you have a question?
Yeah, I have one question about the parent survey. How will you inform us when it is ready to share with our general meeting? When will we know when it's fully translated and ready to share?
So you're talking
As
about,
soon as-
oh, go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, so we will certainly connect with all of you. I'll ask Esther to certainly reach out to each of you to let you know that it's ready to go. So there's going to be multiple ways for us to do some of that outreach. Certainly for you guys in this parent body will be one space. We're going to make use of the city parent messaging system so that we can send it from the district level. And then we're going to send it out from the school level. So we'll get it from multiple perspectives so that we make sure that it gets into the hands of our parents. But as soon as it's ready, we're going to send it out to you guys first so that you can have your hands on it to begin with.
Thank you.
But unless you have any other recommendations for how you think we should share it, that's what we were thinking though.
Well, you said you're going to share it on the school level, right? So like the principals could send it out through Parent Square or what have you, right?
Mhm.
In addition to, we could share it at a meeting or however.
Yes.
Okay.
And the parent
Thank you.
coordinators will also promote it as well.
Okay.
Thank you, Crystal.
They're asking me when is our next meeting, and that is scheduled for Monday, February 13th. Just a little side note, today's meeting and the 13th, it's a meeting schedule change due to holiday or other conflict. So we do have our meetings every third Monday of the month, but because
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King, and then February also, that's why we're having the meetings. But our next meeting is Monday, February 13th, 6:30.
Okay, any other questions?
Hold on, let me see. No, that's.
Okay, so it's 7:18. I'm gonna ask for a motion to adjourn this meeting. Anyone make a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Okay,
This is
hi,
Rachel.
hi. I'm so sorry. I'm waiting till the last minute.
That's okay.
Apologies. I'm Keisha Godfrey. I am the president for my PTA in PS 165. And it's my first time attending your meeting. I have a co-president, but and he should have been attending these, and I suspect he had not. And I heard someone ask a question about getting information, so I started emailing Mr. Donato because I noticed he was responding to that question, to give my email. If there's some way, if there's a listserv that you use or
Are
something
you
to that.
talking about the CEC for the position?
No, I don't want that at all.
Oh, oh,
Sorry, I don't have the time. But no, just she was asking about the parent survey.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
a list,
parent-
a list of the presidents of President's Council, so that she can be included is what I'm assuming. Is that what?
Correct.
So
Yes.
the way we communicate here at President's Council, anything that comes from Francis comes to me, the district, and I go ahead and forward it to all your parent coordinators. And they're
Got
the ones that go ahead and forward it to you.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Keisha, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome.
Thanks.
And this meeting, Keisha, everybody's welcome to come. It's, you know, informational so that everybody in your PTA could turnkey the information and learn everything that happens. The superintendent gives the report, the deputy gives the report. We have guest speakers. So it's very informative and you know, we discuss a lot of issues and this is where you learn and you come to ask questions. So anybody on your board is welcome to join. And now the only exception is that if we had to vote for whatever reason, only one person from your school gets to vote and that's the president. But everybody's welcome to come to the meetings.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, it's 7:20. Can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Crystal Sala, I motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank
Can I
you,
get
Crystal.
someone to second it?
Rachel, I second.
Thank you, Rachel. So at this time, Esther and I and Rachel and most of the board members will stay on. If you have any issues that you want to talk to us and maybe in private, but we'll be on. Have a great night. Happy New Year.
Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Night,
Night,
everyone.
Good night.
Night.